It all started with a simple idea. What if anyone could mine cryptocurrency from their phone? No expensive computers or technical know-how required. That's the promise of the Pi network, launched in 2019, aiming to make digital currency accessible to everyone, not just techies or investors. Users download the app, log in daily, and tap a button to prove they're real, earning Pi coin in return. This simplicity fueled explosive growth, with millions worldwide joining and waiting for their coins to gain value. The community, called Pioneers, is united by hope for Pi's future, even as the project remains in development. Unlike most cryptocurrencies, Pi hasn't launched on public exchanges. Instead, it's focused on building infrastructure and verifying users through KYC. This slow, deliberate approach has built a loyal community, but also impatience and speculation. With millions holding Pi but unable to trade it, anticipation is high, and so are the rumors about its potential value. The big question, will this experiment in accessible crypto pay off, or is it just another digital dream? For now, the world watches and waits. In Pi circles, one number stands out, 314,159, the so-called Global Consensus Value, or GCV. Inspired by the digits of Pi, this figure is a community-driven aspiration, not a market price. The GCV emerged from online forums and social media, symbolizing hope that Pi will be worth a fortune when it finally launches. Supporters argue Pi's huge user base and unique distribution justify this sky-high value, especially for early adopters. But it's important to remember, GCV is entirely theoretical, set by community agreement, not by real-world trading. Pi operates on an enclosed mainnet, so coins can't be traded on exchanges, meaning the GCV exists only in the community's imagination. This dream keeps excitement alive, but it also blurs the line between hope and reality. For many, GCV is a symbol of financial freedom. For others, it's a fantasy. The real challenge will come when Pi finally hits the open market and faces true price discovery. Until then, the GCV is just a number, powerful but unproven. The gap between aspiration and reality is where hype thrives. A viral rumor claims major banks are about to adopt Pi coin at the GCV price, making holders instant millionaires. The story is irresistible: secret partnerships, technical jargon, and promises of imminent integration. But there's no official confirmation from the Pi core team or any bank. No press releases, no regulatory filings, no credible announcements, just speculation. In finance, big moves aren't kept secret. They're announced publicly and transparently. The idea that conservative banks would adopt a new, unproven asset at a community-set price defies logic. All evidence points to this being just a rumor, not reality. The excitement is understandable, but wishful thinking isn't a substitute for facts. Until there's real proof, bank adoption at GCV remains a fantasy. The lesson: don't confuse viral stories with verified news. If the banks and Pi core team aren't fueling the hype, who is? The answer: social media influencers and anonymous accounts, not official sources. These accounts post flashy updates, countdowns, and insider news, creating an echo chamber where rumors become facts. Some genuinely want to keep spirits high. Others chase followers and influence. The result is a powerful feedback loop, making it hard for newcomers to separate truth from fiction. The Pi core team has pushed back, urging users to trust only official channels and report misinformation. Despite these efforts, the unofficial narrative often drowns out the slow, steady reality. The battle is between hype and hard facts. In crypto, excitement spreads faster than the truth. Despite the hype, Pi does have some real-world uses inside its closed network. Apps like Booster let users in parts of Africa, Asia, and Latin America pay for essentials like electricity and mobile data with Pi. Peer-to-peer marketplaces have sprung up, with pioneers trading goods and services for Pi at mutually agreed prices, usually far below the GCV. These grassroots exchanges show Pi can function as a currency, at least on a small scale. But all transactions happen within the Pi ecosystem, not with major retailers or outside merchants. The value is whatever two people agree on, not a global standard. It's a promising start, but a far cry from the mainstream adoption some imagine. For now, Pi's economy is more like a local market than a global financial system. The dream is big, but the reality is still small. Pi's enclosed mainnet is like a walled garden. Users can trade inside, but nothing goes in or out. This phase lets the team verify users through KYC and gives developers time to build apps without market chaos. The downside? Pi has no official price, since it can't be traded on open exchanges. Any price you see online is either an IOU or an unauthorized listing, not the real value of your Pi. The true market price will only emerge when the network opens and supply meets demand. Many pioneers are eager to sell, as seen by the surge in Pi IOUs on exchanges. This sets up a clash, a community dreaming of sky-high prices, and a crowd ready to cash out at much lower ones. The walled garden keeps things stable, but also fuels impatience. When the gates open, reality will set the price. Until then, Pi's value is anyone's guess. Step outside the Pi community, and experts offer a reality check. The idea of banks adopting Pi at GCV is, in their words, impossible. Integrating a new blockchain with banking systems is complex and risky. Banks won't gamble on an unproven asset. A more likely scenario would involve a stablecoin, not Pi itself. Experts also point out that GCV is a community wish, not a market valuation. With billions of Pi in circulation, a $314,159 price would make Pi worth more than all global assets combined, a mathematical impossibility. No responsible institution would accept that risk. The GCV, they say, is more marketing than reality. Real value will be set by utility, security, and open market demand. Until then, expert advice is to stay grounded. The Pi ecosystem is fertile ground for scams and misinformation. Scammers exploit hope and impatience, promising early cash-outs or spreading fake news about GCV and bank deals. When hype-driven promises fail, disappointment and distrust follow, hurting the project's credibility. The best defense? Critical thinking. Always check if news comes from official Pi channels, not anonymous social media accounts. Screenshots and rumors aren't evidence. Look for real announcements. The Pi Core team has made it clear, trust only their verified updates. Ignore countdowns and wild promises. Patience and skepticism are your best tools. In crypto, caution is your strongest asset. So where does that leave us? Pi is a bold experiment in accessible crypto, with millions hoping for a new digital economy. But alongside real progress is a tidal wave of hype. GCV dreams, secret bank deals, and instant riches. The challenge is separating hope from hype. It's reasonable to believe Pi could have value and utility, but not to expect guaranteed riches based on rumors. The future will be decided by technology, security, and real-world adoption, not viral stories. Until the mainnet opens, cautious optimism is the wisest approach. Engage, stay informed, and be proud of the community you're part of. But always question extraordinary claims. Your best investment isn't in Pi itself, but in your own critical thinking. In the end, reality, not rumor, will decide Pi's fate.